Yes, boys. So today we are joined with Tommy, an 18-year-old trader who locked in with trading 6 months ago after leaving college and has now, after locking in for 6 months, become a fully funded, profitable trader. And he's going to be giving all the sauce, all the advice, exactly what you need to do if you're in his position in order to get to where he is now. And if you want to go from pretty much zero to a funded, profitable trader in 6 months at a very young age, he's going to tell you exactly how and exactly how he did it. So let's get right into the video, boys. Tommy, man, how's trading been going? How old are you, first of all?
I'm 18. No, my birthday's in a couple of months, but I'm 18. Been trading for, I'd say a year, 2 years, but I've been paper trading for a lot of that time. The whole time, like I say, I've been focusing on kind of learning the skill. I haven't really bothered too much about kind of making money or passing. I've been just focusing on the actual trading side of it, making sure that I'm doing everything right and learning the skill first of all.
That's the
Yeah, so
that's a big thing, man. Is learning the skill because a lot of people they want to earn, but they don't realize you ain't going to earn from day dot. And as we'll get
no,
into,
that's
you
it.
you've managed to earn money off trading or be on the process of earning money quite early on. But that's not
Yeah,
after a week. Like you've done it quick. I'd say you've been quick, but it's certainly not
that's
been a
it. Yeah.
week. Like how long have you known about trading and like the industry, and then compared to when
So
you actually
it was.
properly took it seriously?
So I'd say my first year of college, I remember one of my friends spoke to me, and like everyone, you're kind of like you see the potential, and I knew from day one like what I didn't want to do, and it was only until I kind of looked into trading, I was like, "Do you know what, like this is me. I need to kind of like proper lock in with this.
Mm.
And then I didn't start off with Richesse to be fair. To start, I was looking at other people like TJR, other YouTube videos at the start, and then I kind of narrowed it down. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like how it started. And then obviously, like I'm here now, been with Richesse for kind of, I'd say, I don't know, to be fair, what, just under a year probably, kind of learning. And but yeah, like every single day learning so much. I think I'd definitely be 5, 6 months behind if I didn't have a mentor to kind of listen to every day, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So for people out there that's probably just starting, just in your age, because you come out of college, didn't you, to then start trading?
Yeah, that's it. So I was doing 2.5 days at college, and then the other like day and a half in the week was kind of trading. But when I was in college, I was kind of like watching videos, learning, but it was quite hard. So I was kind of balancing them both at the same time.
Mm.
And it was only until I finished the second year of college, I'm still working on the weekends, but I was like, I can definitely lock in with this. And yeah, it's just about kind of balancing it. You don't want to kind of until you're seeing profits. Like I say, I'm still like starting off really, to be honest.
Mm.
But until you're kind of like comfortable, I feel like that's when you take the big step. But it's all a process, I reckon. I think.
100%. Would you say for people watching, like getting a part of a mentorship, just any mentor in general, do you reckon that's something that most people should look to do, even if they have got to spend some dough on it? Do you reckon that is the
100. I
right
don't
way?
even think. I don't even think it's a question. I think you need to, unless you want to be trading for like 2, 3 years and then pass an account. It cuts out. Say cut it out. You still need to go through all the phases of kind of losing trades and psychology. But when you have that person behind you explaining you have to go through this and this
Mm.
is what happens, and I mean not only that as well, you've got all the members you can kind of talk to in a pre-London, even all day you can kind of reach out to people and everyone's helping everyone. So 100%, man. Like this is you definitely need to have a mentor or someone who has experience, and this is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I've even noticed this recently, bro. Like, because I've been getting into meme coins a bit more recently, and it's like,
Oh really?
I started trenching. I put like a couple of Solana in, and I was just getting cooked. And I was like, bro, hang on. There's so much I don't know about this shit. Why don't I just literally pay like 100 quid for someone who actually fully knows what they're doing? It's gonna save me not only just the money, like not only more losing days, but it's gonna save me fucking like 2, 3 months of figuring it out on my own, getting cooked, figuring it out, Googling, ChatGPT, when you can just get someone who knows what they're talking about. And especially like what I always say, someone who's reachable, someone you can actually talk to. But that's what I did with meme coins. I just got someone that I know that I would be able to learn off and speak to, even though like I said, I've been making money off trading for years, but this is an aspect of trading that I don't understand. And like just with that, bro, like in the matter of being in speaking to someone for like even 2 days, I feel like it saved me fucking 2 months of mistakes. So that's good, and especially going back to the trading that we do, especially with prop firms, like people can blow prop firms so quick. Like right now, everyone wants to be buying prop firm accounts. Like that's like the in thing right now. But that you're looking at 500 quid per like 100k account. And I know as well from first hand, they can be blown like fucking quick. I think everyone watching, and me and you probably can relate as well, buying the accounts, blowing the accounts, buying the accounts, blowing the accounts. It's one of those things. It's gonna cost you more money in the long run if you don't get a mentor than if you just do. So yeah, I completely agree with that, bro. Let's get into the funded account. So how long was you learning before you then thought, right, I'm ready to get a funded account? And then take us through like the story of you getting funded basically. Did you pass your first funded? Did it pass in a trade?
So,
Like did it take you a while or
oh mate, do you know what? It has taken me to say so long. Like I said, from day one, I was never worried about kind of funded. Like I say, I mean, I speak to like Mace and you all the time, and like you've always said, you kind of put you back on track, and it's like stop worrying about making X amount of money or X percent. Obviously, percentages more so, but
mm,
look on kind of consistently staying profitable, and it will just come over time. But like I say, so I think I started. Like I say, I didn't start with Richesse at the start. I was looking at kind of other YouTube videos, doing other courses, and when I kind of like found out, for me personally, especially living in the UK, I was like London session is perfect because I don't want to be waiting till like New York session and trading the S&P or Nasdaq or whatever it is. I'm like, I can wake up London session, trade 3 hours a day. Obviously, when you're learning, you're kind of on it in the afternoons and evenings, kind of learning the skill.
yeah,
But you get to a point when you're doing it 3 hours a day max in London session, taking a trade, and then you're like, mate, like that's all you kind of need to be honest.
yeah,
But
100%.
yeah, and then in terms of the funded accounts, is when I turned 18. Obviously, legally, I was allowed to start, so I got
Mm,
my first 10k, and that was just going on and on and on. But because I wasn't worried about kind of making money at the start, I'm still not. Like I said, still not. Um, I'd say I was kind of. There was a lot of times where I could have taken trades, but I was like, I didn't take them, and there was times where I should have taken them, and I didn't, and vice versa. But it
mm,
took me a very long time to kind of get through the phase one on two accounts, and then with phase two, mate. Phase two, I remember getting to a point where I had to make 5%, obviously. I was £13 away, so like 0.1%, and then next week I was like down 3%, up, down, and it's just such a kind of roller coaster. And I
mm,
think, I mean, like I say, I can still definitely blow it, obviously, but I think I'm definitely at a stage where it's just focusing on my psychology, to be brutally honest.
mm.
And like I say, it's just a kind of, I feel like it's only uphill in terms of like trader. I feel like I've kind of gone through a lot of fucking bullshit already.
Yeah, yeah, 100. Mate, the life cycle of a trader's quick. You age about 20 years in 6 months is crazy,
Oh,
bro.
mate. I mean, this morning was hard work, to be honest.
Yeah, mate. Oh, this morning, bro. Even this month, bro. There's been a lot of waiting around, but to be fair, in the
It's
end, the position's been coming through, but they've just been taking a long time to land
Yeah, you
this
just got to
month.
look at it on a monthly basis, I guess, haven't you?
So you're talking about like the psychology aspect of things. How important do you reckon for psychology? Because how I see it is you sort of need your technicals a little bit down to the T before you can then really focus on psychology. So how important for you is it to have like a process where you're not just going on the market looking for random things at any hours of the day? Like you said, you're trading a certain session, certain pairs, looking for certain things. How important do you reckon that is in order to then get psychology off the back of it?
Oh, mate, I mean, like you say, technicals can. I mean, obviously, you need the right technicals. Obviously, when you've got a good strategy and you've worked on it, you know that it works. Obviously, you've got time-based liquidity as well, using that instead of kind of looking at it 12 hours a day.
Mm,
You've got your 3 hours of the day. You're focusing on one session. It always works. With the psychology, I think it doesn't matter as long as you've got a winning strategy. If you don't have your psychology, you can jump on the chart. You can be like, oh, like this trade doesn't come through. I'm going to force it, or I'm not going to wait till we've come into this kind of. We haven't. Like I'm waffling, but we haven't done two or three things. But I do think it's going to go up, and then you take the trade and you lose, and then you kind of you what's the word?
yeah, like
Oh shit!
no, I get what you mean. Like you let
You
your
chase your
stand,
losses.
yeah, you chase your lot. You let your standards slip. Like that's what I think you mean. Is like normally you should look for X, Y, and Z, but then as you said, if your psychology is not there, then you might only have X and Y, and you just lower your
Yeah,
standards and go fuck it. I'm gonna go in anyway, just because again, want to pass this account or want to focus on
That's it.
making money.
That's it. Like I say, you can have the best strategy, but it doesn't matter. I mean, like I say, that's the easy bit, to be honest. Kind of learning the strategy until you're kind of in the real scenario, and you're looking at fives, but you're looking at different kind of pairs, and you're watching the news, and you're kind of your mind's all over the place, and you kind of like you very. It's definitely the biggest, if not the main thing, to be honest, in terms of trading.
So how
That psychology.
as obviously like if you were speaking to, because I agree, bro, like psychology is so important. Like technicals can be learned. Like it's like learning technicals is like learning anything. Like everyone's learned about something before, whether you've learned maths in school or learned fucking the meta in Clash Royale or what got fucking tactics to use on FIFA. Yeah, everyone's learned something physically. We're just looking at a chart and learning. But the psychology is something that most people have never done before. Some people's never really looked into themselves and like analyze themselves rather than something external. So I suppose what I was going to ask is, say there's someone who was in your position 6 months ago, so just come out of college, just about to turn 18, and they're really trying to take trading seriously. What would be like a few tips that you'd say, or one or two tips you'd say, yeah, this is really important, or this is a good bit of advice?
I'd say in terms of important, I mean, when people do talk to me now, I always say to them, I say, before you even ask me about trading, understand that if you do want to take it seriously, you need to understand that it's not gonna happen overnight. Even if you kind of win five trades in a row, it doesn't. You're looking at it on a kind of profitable mindset. You need to kind of understand that it's not gonna take a week, 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months. It's gonna be a long time before you actually start consistently
Mm,
improving as a trader. I'd say, I mean, obviously, it's kind of like you say, back to the mentoring. I think 100%. If you don't already have a mentor, you need to definitely look into something that fits your strategy and your time as well. Because some people obviously have different things to do in the day, or they might work, or they might
yeah.
trade different things. And obviously, like you say, with the meme coins,
Mm,
you didn't know much about that. It's still a market. We're still in a market, but there's
mm,
tens of thousands, but there's so many kind of different ways to trade. So you need to kind of what do you want to look at? What niche do you want to kind of be focusing on? And definitely look for a mentor. And just, I think as long as you balance it out and you don't go all in if you're not comfortable, as long as you're kind of doing something and you're not giving up, you're going to get somewhere. If it's not kind of in a year, 2 years, you're going to be doing the best you can. As long as you put the work in, that's all you can really do.
100%. I remember I
That's the only
see
thing to
saying,
learn, yeah.
I think it was, I can't remember who, I think it was Pitbull or something. And he said a quote, and I must have seen it when I was about 16. I never understood it till I got into trading. But it's something like, if you're chasing the money, then it runs. And
Yeah,
it's like
I think, yeah.
it goes back to what you said, was when you were starting, and also with your advice, when you were starting, you got it in your head. This isn't going to be a 1 week thing. This is going to be like a dedication. You're going to have to dedicate yourself for a certain, at least a good amount of months. Um, and like it goes back to what you said with your advice. Like if you're going to start trading, get around your head. Like what is this game? For a start, what aspects of trading do you want to get into? What markets do you want to get into? But then like get into the reality of how long is this realistically going to take? How much percent a month do I need to take? And then you can start breaking it down a bit more. But when you're just chasing the money and you see it as a money making scheme, I mean, I see it in the Discord all the time. People, you can tell they've got that gambling instinct and they're blind for accounts every week. For
Yeah,
someone like you, who's you've already from the get go, you've got it in your head because you obviously you've got mentor and you've took the time to actually educate yourself and stuff like that. You know, cool. I ain't gonna pass this prop firm on the first day I learn about a breaker structure. It's gonna take me in 6 months, and like as I said, you've fucking absolutely smashed it in 6 months and got funded just from really setting that
100%,
stable
yeah.
base and understanding this is a process. It's a process anyone can do, but the reason no one does it is because they don't understand it is a fucking process. It's not going to take 2 days. And I mean, you're in a position where probably every fucking 16, or not 16-year-old, every fucking 18-year-old or someone who's just turned 18 who's into trading would ideally want to be in your spot. You've locked in for 6 months to a year and you're now funded. And you sorry, how much funded are you?
Only 10k at the minute, but I've
Mm.
got, I think it's only 2 or 3%, and then I've got another 10k, and then in a couple of weeks I'm going to start 100k.
Love it. Again, even going back to that, there's no need to start with a 200k account or 100k. Get that
And I think it,
10k,
yeah,
start learning.
it messes with my psychology. If I started off with a 100, 200k account, I'd have been like proper, say struggling, but it would have affected me more. So like I say,
Mm.
I'm not so bothered. You know, I'm still working on the weekends, and I'm going to try and get an afternoon, evening job. But if you kind of if you're kind of making money on the side, it makes you kind of less relied on trading money, because I think that's when you tend to slip up. If you're kind of trading to pay something, it becomes quite hard. So if you start off small and just start scaling up, you're kind of learning the skill. Like it's all off of percentages.
Hundred
Same thing
percent. Hundred
when you're
percent.
starting. I felt it'd be smart to kind of start small and then just work my way up.
Yeah, and I mean, especially as like young people, the majority of people getting into trading are, we haven't seen that type of money. Like I remember when I first started, and like everyone can probably, you make a demo account and you're like, fuck me, bro, I've just made, and you place them demo trades, you're like, fucking hell, I've just made 100 grand in a day.
Yeah,
Imagine this was real dough, and you lose your head. Like, and even it was the same when I first started. I would go for like 100k accounts, and I was thinking, bro, if this passes, I'm gonna be making 8 grand a month. I was earning like 2 grand at the time. I'd never seen 8 grand a month. So it was
yeah,
money where I was sort of losing my head. But like you said, if you keep it process based, like you said, it's a process. You're still working. You might even get another job in the evening, but you're making progress. You got that 10k funded. You're gonna start getting payouts. You're gonna pass your next one, and then you're gonna build up to your 50k or 100k or 200k's, and it goes from there. So following a
yeah.
process, I think, is massive, especially if you're young and getting into trading, which is something that I think you've done very fucking well, and it's quite, it requires a level of maturity, really, in it. I know when I started, I didn't have the same mindset as you. I was trying to do it really quick, but it takes, like, you got to sort of mature yourself, and like you said, that comes through getting mentored and being told the right things. But
Oh yeah, 100%,
you've
100%.
got to like be a bit mature in your approach. Like, cool, this isn't too like, because it sounds too good to be true. Like, nothing's too good to be true. It is gonna
Yeah,
take time. It's gonna take you time. And yeah, man. But realistically, what is 6 months? 6 months is nothing. Like, it may seem like a lot of the time as the days are ticking by, but after a year, you look back and go, "Fuck me, 6 months is all it took for me to then like become a funded trader and start earning payouts. So something that's going to pay me for the next fucking 60 years of my life. It's not that much amount of time in the grand scheme of things, man.
oh no, it's nothing. Like I say, when you're still kind of balancing your workout as well, it's you kind of. I look forward to trading. I'd say every day, to be completely honest. And yeah, when you start enjoying something, it doesn't even seem like a chore, you know.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So what I was going to say now, can you put if you pull your chart up and just show us like maybe one or two trades that you've taken? Right, so Tommy's now going to take us through one of the trades that actually passed his first funded account, and give us a little insight into his strategy, something that works really well with him, as he's mentioned, through working a job and doing stuff on the side, picking a certain amount of the day to trade, and having a real actual step by step approach rather than just scattergun. So yeah, if you talk us for a little bit just behind the basics of your strategy, like in essence, what is the strategy, and then we'll get into the actual like the technicals, the fair value gaps, the entries and stuff like that. So what
Yeah,
is the
that's cool.
actual
That's cool.
strat?
That's cool. So this was a GU trade I took last week. I think this is the one that actually made me pass, to be honest. So it's literally the ALG. So wait, obviously going into kind of other stuff, but essentially Asia high, Asia low gets taken, sweep of liquidity, obviously aligned with your bias as well. Then you wait for some form of confirmation, and then kind of, and obviously it's not as simple as that. But
Mm.
that's the kind of basics behind it. But in terms of this one, so I can't actually go back, but we had where were we? Let's do the equilibrium. So from the day before, obviously Friday high, Friday low, we was in the premium, so we was looking good to sell, but also we was very high. We was very high in price in the terms of the um, this part of the day in the morning.
Mhm.
So we had a sweep of Asia's high, and then we come into yeah, we come into a 15-minute FVG here, or the block, and then had a 5-minute trade through. Um, then we had a 5-minute trade through, and then just ended on a 5-minute FVG after that, and just let it run to I'd let it run to the DTO, because that would have secured me profits, and that was a nice trade.
Yeah, banging. So I'd say that really I'd say the 3 points of your strategy really is bias, time, and then entry. So you build your higher time frame bias, which you said you had through that 30-minute fair value gap and the
Yeah,
volume and like the trend of the market and the
there was
premium.
fundamentals. There's fundamentals behind that as well. Obviously, I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, there's fundamentals telling that was kind of technicals, like you say.
So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Number one, you got your bias, so that's the higher time frame. It's your fundamentals, it's everything like that. And then the entry, obviously, the entries that's the end part of it. So that's sort of like kind of is dependent on what you feel comfortable with. But in the middle bit, I feel like where you're getting it spot on is the middle bit where it's having an actual time. So because most strategies have a bias and an entry, which we've got. We have the bias at the start, the entry at the end. But that middle bit, I think, is what sets it apart with having not just a bias and an entry, a direction you want to go, but actually how it's going to reach that direction. And with that ALG, as you said, you're looking for. I'm assuming you're looking for basically the same point every morning, every day. You're looking for the
Yeah,
Asia
that's
high
it.
to be
Yeah.
swept.
I mean, like I say, I could have held till Asia low, but for me, I think that was going to pass the account. So I was like, it kind of tapped me off anyway. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Nice. I mean, what
that's essentially it.
do you reckon? Do you reckon it helps you to have, as you said, like with that middle part, you've got a time where you're in for a certain 3 hours or 4 hours of the day. You're waiting for a certain time based point of liquidity to be taken. So I suppose you've actually got like a framework to build around for beginner traders, people that are just coming into the market. They've got a bias and they've got an entry, but they don't have the specific actual movement. Like you're looking for a sweep and then a London move. Do you know what I mean? How important would you say to new traders that is to actually not just have a bias and an entry, but to have something you can actually train day in, day out, this specific move of the market?
Oh, 100%. I mean, like you say, you can stay on it 12 hours a day and kind of look for a sweep and then whatever and kind of take trades left, right, and centre. But in terms of actual taking a trade during certain points in a day, using London kill zone, it all kind of makes sense. Whereas you're not just taking a random high, you're taking Asia's high, so your
Yeah,
Asia session, you're taking a high or low of Asia session. So that generates liquidity. So you kind of already you're using time-based liquidity, what you say as well. And obviously, when you've kind of got your technicals and fundamentals and high time frame bias behind it, it's just a matter of 10 trades, and the probability is you're going to be up because of kind of back testing and doing it for so long. Like it's just kind of you just got to set and forget really.
100%. Shout out Alex G for the set and forget. We can't forget him. Fucking hell. Big three Bugattis at his age. So that was Tommy's strategy. He's going to take us for another trade he caught using the same strategy pretty much. And just showing you boys, as we said, the importance of having an approach that you can repeat every single day. You're not just looking at concepts jumbled together, breaker structure, liquidity sweep, market structure, shift, volume, whatever it is. You're actually looking for a specific move, which, as Tommy said, was the main catalyst for that was a sweep of the either Asia high or low, and then looking for that trade. So he's just going to take us through this one here.
So this one, like I say, is GU again. And I mean, we can see from the kind of prior day, we're very, very overbought. So even if we're kind of continue off of the discount and move up, we still have to come to that area. I think there was definitely fundamentals behind this one as well. But in terms of technicals, straight away, I mean, this is 7 o'clock, but 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock, we had Asia session. So we had a sweep at Asia higher, and then big 5 minute trade through, and then enter on 5 minutes. Simple as that. Obviously, when I was in the trade, I was kind of logging it as well, making sure that it was all kind of running smooth, and then targeting Asia low. So literally sweep at Asia higher, target Asia low. I mean, I could have held to here, but there was no need to. That's enough. 3.6%. That's well enough. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of. I'd be happy with that a month. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
that's all you need.
100%.
That's all you
100%.
need. But this was a really nice trade. I think how long did it take? It's only took like 2 hours. But say 2 hours, you're not even doing anything. You're just sitting in the trade. As long as your psychology's fine, you're not worrying about it. You know.
And that's what I mean. And even in terms of looking at the chart, I mean, we can see straight away, even from those last two trades, you're not looking at the markets for hours in the morning. Like both trades were a sweep of Asia higher, 5 minute trade through, and you're in. Stop loss same place, TP same place, entry same place.
That's it.
It's the same shit every day. It's just the most thing you're probably having to work on is, like you said, that higher time frame bias and the fundamentals. But having an
Yeah.
approach like you've got just like allows you to focus more on your higher time frame bias and the fundamentals rather than fucking searching for the entry on the lower time frame. The entry will find you. It's the
Yeah.
bias that you've got to find.
And that's it. I think, like you say as well. I mean, I've learned this one of you as well. But the it's turned off. But the in terms of the time-based liquidity as well, which is so important because you can kind of flick through and it'll be 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and you can find like a breaker structure or a IFEG or whatever it is, but it's not going to be valid if it's kind of a random point in the day. If you can kind of justify it and explain, right, we've taken Asia higher, and we're targeting Asia's low because we've had this, this, and this, it makes complete sense. Whereas if you're kind of flicking through and doing and looking on it in terms of a technical instead of time based and fundamental bias behind you, you're gonna probably get cooked. To be honest.
100%, 100%. That time-based bias it opens a lot of people's eyes for sure, man. It just gives you an actual approach rather than just making it
100%.
random and looking for every level. I mean, you see TJR's videos and stuff, and he says, I'll mark out the 1 hour highs, the 4 hour highs, the daily lows, the weekly, and it's like, yeah, that's all well and good, but then you're just looking at hourly candles. Like, how do you know if one
Yeah.
hourly, like the significance of one or the other? But obviously, as we know, the Asia session tends to accumulate and the London session tends to manipulate. So we've got that on our side as well. We're high probability before we've even marked out the level because that's just how the
That's it.
market operates.
I think a great strategy is something that you can sit there and actually explain in depth and have real reasoning behind it, not just saying, oh, well, it's kind of done this, this, and this, and it's going to move down because it's a fucking shoulder. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
make
yeah.
sense. If you, I mean, it doesn't. I wouldn't like to trade that way. As long as you can kind of explain and stuff have a real reason why they're moving in a certain direction. Like you say, this is all learned as well by having a mentor behind you, kind of explaining it. Otherwise, I'll be lost, to be honest.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, bro. But yeah, I appreciate you breaking down those trades, man, and giving a bit of advice to the people watching, man. What about last, just to end it on, if you could tell yourself something when you first started trading, what would that thing be? If you could give yourself one piece of advice.
I'd say in terms of like talking to myself, like not talking about the trading itself, but just stick with it. 100%, just stick with it and accept that, like you say at the start, but just fully commit to the process and understand that it is a process, and there will be a point where you go, say it will go click. It's kind of, it will go click after kind of months and or even a year of kind of consistently fading and learning. But that's all it is. As long as you kind of don't give up, you're gonna improve and you're gonna get to where you need to be. 100%. That's what I'd say. Just stick with it.
Stick with
Stick
it.
with it.
Stick with it 100%. You heard it here, boys. Stick with it. If you're just left college or you're in your late teens or you're even your early 20s, you've heard it here, boys. Like, so much can change in 6 months. Again, most people overestimate what they can do in a week, but underestimate what they can do in a year. Just
Yeah.
focus on what does it look like next year. Fuck next week. Think about next year. If you stick to it and you do everything right, you know you should do. Where would you be next year if you actually genuinely stuck to trading and did everything, like you said, locked in properly? Realized like this is a locked in process. I need to lock in. So if you did that a year ago, what would your life look like now? And I think that's a really good question for everyone to have in the back of their minds. Like, it's about the year. What would my life look like in a year? Fuck next week. Like, if I'm sticking to
Yeah.
this trading process, then yeah, it's inevitable. You're gonna get to where you want to be.
I think looking at anything from like a, even not trading, like a high time frame bias, but like a, like you say, stop looking at, oh, today I've done this, today I've done that, yesterday. Look at it as a kind of monthly and yearly, because even like investments as well, you kind of, if you look at it short term, you're not really gonna, you're just gonna go crazy. But if you look at it kind of long term, you're only gonna kind of get such a better understanding and just sticking with it and yeah, 100%, like exactly what you said.